Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a reading about the 7/7 portal that is happening today, so July 7th. And I feel like, we're going to do what we normally do, but I do want to highlight a few things. So when I was getting ready I knew I wanted to do a reading on the 7/7 portal, and I was pulling cards out to figure out how I wanted to do this. I was drawn to the Isis deck, okay? And I haven't used this deck in months, I don't believe. I have to look back, but I think it's been months since I used this deck, right? And I was joking. I was joking to myself, and I was like, it would be crazy if the number 7 was associated with the god Isis, the goddess Isis. So I went on just ChatGPT just to say, okay, well, what god or deity is associated with the number 7. And of course it pulled up quite a few people like Odin and things like that. But it also pulled up Isis, right? And while she's not technically heavily associated with the number 7 kind of go hands in hand with Isis, okay? So Isis is known as a goddess of powerful spells and magical rituals. And the number 7 was often used in Egyptian lore, in magical incantation, spell, and funerary rites. Okay, so there, in some interpretations, Isis mourned Osiris, her beloved, for 7 days. She was aligning with the spiritual and ritual significance of the number 7 in Egyptian mourning and rebirth traditions. Okay, there is also a story about the 7 scorpion of Isis. I think it's in the tale of Isis and the 7 scorpions. She's protected by 7 scorpion deities as she travels in exile with her son Horus. Okay, so for some of you, the goddess Isis may be coming out for you. You may have recently been dreaming, and in your dreams, there is some type of Egyptian metaphor, or you may feel like you're in some type of Egyptian place. It may feel Egyptian to you. You may feel like you're being called toward the goddess Isis. I would definitely say to do some research. There's a reason why I specifically was called to use these cards, and then when I started doing my research, I could see that 7, while is not, there are certain gods where that number is associated directly with them, like Ma'at, right? The 42 laws of power, right? There are certain numbers that are specifically associated with them. And while this is not specific to her, it goes hand in hand with her energy. And it's crazy because the number 7, the numerology of the number 7, talks about the spiritual seeker, right? They seek the truth. They're interested in life's deeper missions and metaphysics, right? There is a lot of intuition and psychic abilities that's associated with the number 7. Like if you're living in a 7 house, you may find yourself more attuned to the occult, more in tune to your intuition. Okay, so trust it. So I said all that to say that if you feel like you're being called to the goddess Isis, I would definitely say do some research on this goddess. She is a beautiful goddess with a beautiful history. And some parts are sad, right? But I think her history and the story of her is beautiful. So I would definitely say do some research into her. So like I said, we have 2 piles here. We have Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Cyrus, and then pile number 2 is Ancient Power Mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. Now I've already pre-recorded the 2 piles, and there were some beautiful messages that came out with both piles. So please, if you feel called to one or more of the piles, please trust your intuition and use that. Another thing, like I always tell you, if you're looking to get something that is specific to you, it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition. And one of the ways I like to do this is by going outside and putting my feet in the grass, and or taking 3 mindful deep breaths to help myself get more in sync with my intuition and the spirits around me who are trying to give me messages. Okay, so I've talked enough. If you are ready to get to your pile, the description, the timestamps will be in the description box below, and I will see you in your pile. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. I was going to call you pile number 2. So if you feel drawn to pile number 2, there may be a message there for you. But pile number 1, if you chose the Lady of the Stars, the Priestess of Sirius, then this is your pile. So we're going to definitely read this from the book to see what messages that we get. Okay. So it is a long one. I don't think I'm definitely not going to read all of this, but we will get some of this information. Okay. It says, Sirian energy takes the inner path and the spiritual healing journey into a whole new stratosphere. It is wise, ancient, and extremely high vibrational energy. It takes a certain level of soul evolution to be able to consciously register Sirian light and transmute it on this planet. The heart in question must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for it to occur. So for some of you, you may resonate with this Sirian starseed. You may consider yourself a Sirian, and I just saw 101. This may be something that you resonate with, but it sounds like from what I'm getting that you're going to have to tap more into your heart space in order to receive any light codes that may be coming to you, okay, during the 7/7 portal. It says, however, we can still receive Sirian light and healing assistance even if we are still learning to more consistently come from unconditional love. We will feel it more and more strongly as we grow spiritually, but even in our learning phase, we can open our hearts to the divine celestial goddess and allow her, through her priestess Lady Isis, to bless us with genuine spiritual gifts. So for some of you, for the portal 7/7, you could be opening up some spiritual gifts. This could have something to do with the heart space specifically. So you may be doing a lot of healing right now. You could also be doing healing in your dreams as well. But I would definitely say to do some research on the star seeds, or people call it galactic family. The Sirians may have some information from you, for you. They also may be a part of your goal here in life. So for some of you, literally before I turned on this camera, I was literally making the statement that, I had things I had to do. All of us have a job. All of us have a place in life. Because there was something else I wanted to do. And I was like, nope, I got to do what I'm supposed to do, which is come on here and record this video. So for some of you, you may be stepping into your own power. You may be stepping into the things that are meant for you to do. You may be feeling like you're being pushed one way or the other. And I'm thinking of, for some reason, the way her hair is flowing and the jewelry on her body is making me think of the card La Llorona in the women mythical deck. For some reason, it's making me think of that. So you may feel like you're being in a lot of turmoil. You may feel like you're being tormented right now, but it's because your soul and your spirit and your heart is getting you ready for something that is beyond your imagination, right? For some of you, you could be getting a lot of activations, spiritual activations through this portal, the 7/7 portal. So I would definitely say if you're looking to try and manifest some form of healing, some form of like I'm seeing the hands of someone hold someone else up. So if you need support, I would definitely say do some work around that. Maybe ground yourself in some grass if you can. Put your hand on a tree, talk to your tree or something that will ground your energy and make you feel one, or allow you to feel one with spirit, one with Mother Earth. Okay, so let's get a couple of cards. See what energy comes through while we are doing this. And I feel called to pull from a specific deck, so I'm moving that stuff around so I can get it, okay? Alrighty, let's shuffle. Oops. And then we'll do one more shuffle. I didn't like that one. That's better. Okay, can we get a couple of cards, please, for pile number 1? I almost called you pile 2 again. Can we get a couple of, okay, let's see what we got. We have surrender to sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. Okay. And then we have star brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. For some of you, if I am not mistaken, Horus is Isis' son. So the goddess Horus, the god Horus may be calling out to you, or his energy may be reaching out to you as well. Something about this, because I think I talked about feeling like you're in torment. Something about submitting to the sweetness of life is really going to move you into, and this must be meant to come out because I think it's coming out again. Is meant to move you into a place of oneness, but also into a place of understanding of oneself. yourself, right? The understanding of getting you out of maybe this tormented phase and moving you into something that's more sweet. For some of you, you could be going from a tumultuous time into something that is more grounded. That's what the 7-7 portal is opening up for you. Some of you, this could also be that you're at the start of exploring a gift that your ancestors have passed down to you, and you're going to be in more of a it's going to go from a very tumultuous time to a more easy flowing time. Like, think of like sitting in a boat and letting the river take you where it's supposed to go, right? Enjoying, like people talk about smelling the roses, right? Enjoying the sweetness of life, make love to life, right? And then it's also, to me, this card here, what talks about Star Brothers, is talking about protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. For some of you, you haven't had that in a long time. And I just saw 555. You haven't had that in a long time. That safety, that trust, that place where you can just be one with self. That place where you can just, not have to worry about the pressures or the issues of life. You can just relax and really be yourself, right? And I also want to say that this is a 7-7 portal, and the 7-7 portal is a spiritual seeker. And maybe some of these gifts that are coming in for you, you've been seeking them out, and they may hit you. I'm getting like they may hit you like a ton of bricks, which is why you need that flowing energy, and Spirit is saying it's coming for you. Then we have perspective. It says, none of this matters. Zoom out to common ground. Yeah. So zoom out of the torment that you're going through right now and see what's on the other side for you. And then we have weight of the world. Yes. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. For some of you, you're carrying things that don't belong to you. You're carrying issues and problems and fears that are not even yours. So think about it this way. You're in a place of like, I'm afraid of this happening and I'm afraid of that happening. You're afraid of something that hasn't even taken place yet. And you're holding on to a fear that doesn't belong to you. And then bottom deck energy is cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So during the 7-7 portal, you may find yourself completely cracked open. You may find yourself in a situation where you are really doing something completely different. But there is a balance needed here, right? Balance out your life, and learn to surrender to the beauty of life, right? Don't fear being cracked open. Don't fear the unknown, because the unknown is where you're going to thrive. You may be focusing right now on one particular thing, and your spirit guides and your angels, or your ancestors for that matter, could be trying to give you so much more, but you're so focused on one thing. Okay, let's get a couple of cards of any goddesses that might be reaching out to you, or some of your energy that the spirits want you to embody at this time. Okay, can we get 3 cards please for pile number 1? That was way too many cards, so we're going to keep shuffling, okay? We will keep shuffling. Okay, so we have Perchta. I'm so sorry if I'm saying this wrong. It's the Punisher. And then I am not even going to try to say this. It is the Hunger. Okay. Let's get one more. Let's get one more card and then a bottom deck energy. Please, Spirit, one more card. Bottom deck energy. Just one. You may feel like you're in a very dark place mentally right now, and you're not sure how you're going to get out of it. But there's so much for you on the other side. And this something about this 7-7 portal is meant to show you things beyond your wildest imaginations. I don't know if you've been specifically asking Spirit for a miracle, if you've been asking to see miracles every day in your life, because of whatever you're going through right now could be very sad. Yeah, this is meant to come out because it came out with a couple of others, but I really believe that's meant to come out because I kept seeing it. Okay, so one, I originally recorded this video already, and then I didn't like the way it sounded, so I re-recorded it again because it sounded weird to me. But Renegade was one of the cards that came out before, and for it to come out again in the same pile, in the same position, okay, is coming out in this exact same card. It came out as the 3rd card. This is definitely some energy that you're meant to embody. And then we have Linda, the Sadness, okay? And this is your bottom deck energy. Wow, and look at this. This card came out as well, La Llorona. This card came out as well. So I'm going to leave it out here on the deck just so that we can talk about it, because La Llorona talks about grieving, loss. It talks about, you know, being in torment, and the fact that you have this surrender to sweetness, and like I talked about here, like being pulled one way and then the other. You definitely need to hear this, okay? Because it's crazy to me how because I always reshuffle, and then I was listening to a video in between this one, and sometimes I put cards in my hand and I just shuffle to see what will come out, or if there's any additional messages. And sometimes I just shuffle because I freaking like the way it sounds when it shuffles. So I shuffle these cards really well. And for two of the cards that we had, or that I had or seen the last time around, for them to come out again is just destined for you to hear the message that's associated with these cards, okay? So first, I'm going to find the first one that came out, and we'll read some of it from the book. So it says, overwork perfectionist punishment. It says, coming from the oral traditions of Bavaria and Austria, Perchata is a Yule demon who rewards the most domesticated homes with silver, but tortures and kills wayward women and children. It says, you have not been allowing yourself time to appreciate or celebrate your achievements. You are chiding yourself or someone else for supposed laziness. Like, what did I say? Like, you're worried about something that hasn't even come yet, right? And not allowing yourself to stop. Withholding rest from yourself is a recipe for disaster. So the fact that this says, you know, withholding rest is a recipe for disaster, and you got surrendered to the sweetness. For some of you, you haven't been able to. Now, I know you're hearing this message and you're thinking to yourself, I would surrender to the sweetness if I could, right? I'm the only person who is taking care of my family. I'm the only person who is taking care of my children. I'm the only person who has a job. And we understand that, right? Spirit is saying we absolutely understand that, but stop punishing yourself for it, right? You're going to be given a chance to relax, to truly relax. And it may not come in the shape or form that you thought it would come in, so you're gonna judge it, right? You know, maybe your form of, I get to relax when I win the lottery and I have $200 million, right? But maybe it comes in the form of, you get laid off, but you're making more money. You essentially have more money than you had before, and you're able to stop and work on your business that you already have, right? Stop and enjoy the sweetness of life. For some of you, you've been punishing yourself. Even when good things happen to you, you don't stop and you don't acknowledge the good things that happen to you. So you're always in a state of hungering for more, which to me is perfect that this card came out next, because you're hungering for so much more, but you have yet to appreciate what you already have, okay? So this card talks about indulgence, ravenous, and devouring. It says, this particular monster is an all-devouring monster from Zulu mythology who swallows anything, people, animals, objects, hold. It says you may feel a lack of satisfaction, like you are hungering for something more or something different. It may not be a lack of trying, but your efforts are not hitting the proverbial spot. Perhaps you need some self-indulgence right now. Are you denying yourself something you truly want or need? This particular monster inside you is asking to be fed. Operate with a perspective of abundance, not lack. Look, and it's right under the abundance card, right? Change your perspective on how you see things, right? Change your perspective on the things that you want. Some of you may be denying yourself, and that may be why you're in torment. You're denying yourself the true desires of your heart, right? And it may be because somebody made you feel like the desires of your heart are not something that you should ask for or that you should want, but you really want this. It's definitely something that you desire. And when you deny yourself, when you continuously deny yourself the things that you want, you put yourself in like, think of putting yourself in a state where you're starving, right? It's almost like that, not physically starving, but your soul feels like it's starving for the things that it desires. And it's because you won't let yourself have those things, okay? And to me, Lilith coming out in that third spot, right? We already know what this is about to be, right? If you know anything about Lilith energy, she's the renegade, she is the rebel, right? So let's read this. So it says Lilith, scapegoating, defiance, insubordination. It says from Jewish and ancient Mesopotamia lore, Lilith is the oft unmentioned first wife of Adam. Her wanton sexual desires eventually led her to leave Eden and birth an army of demons. Listen, don't let someone else's perception of who you should be or what your desires are stop you from living fully, right? Lilith basically said, if I can't have it with you, I'll get it somewhere else, right? You need to have that same energy. You need to embody that same energy because there is so much power, so much beauty within you. And I need you, I'm going to say this, the universe, spirit, Buddha, Jesus, God, whatever you believe in, they need you to trust in the fact that they will catch you. They want you to live a little bit recklessly. They want you to do the things that, like the true desires of your heart, what you really want to do, the things that you tell nobody about, right? Of course, safety, moderation, keep that in mind, but don't deny yourself the true desires of your heart, okay? Especially if you're not hurting anyone. It says, no one can tell you what to do right now, but it's up to you to decide if that's a bad thing. Maybe you're being stubborn, obstinate, and defiant, but according to whose rules of definitions, right? Make your own rules. It says, Lilith is invoking the inner rebel in you, the one who takes what they want, asserts their needs, and knows their boundaries. This is about your bodily and soulful autonomy. You're not bad or wrong for not doing what everyone else says you should be or should do. Be seduced by your own power. And it's crazy because this card is not the card, but the page that this is on is 111. So that number may be coming out for you. That energy may be around you right now. So please take heed to that. I would definitely say do some research on the number 7 as well as the number 1 because this is a 7-7 portal. But do some research. But seriously, take yourself out of this place where you're forming yourself and being something somebody else asked you to be, or something you saw and you're like, oh, well, I have to live my life this particular way in order to get what I want. And your spirit guides are coming through to say, absolutely not. Be a rebel. Be yourself, right? Don't stick to the status quo. Set the standard, okay? Then you have this monster here, because I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's Kleedna, but I don't want to say it wrong. It says, feeling overcome, separation from loved ones, heartbreak. It says this monster was a banshee queen in Irish folklore who was charmed by a handsome adventurer and left with him for the mortal world, whereupon she drowned in the sea. It says this card points to a situation where you feel far away from someone or something you love. This distance could be physical, but this card could also refer to an emotional chasm as well, or chasm, sorry. It says reach out to someone you love. The appearance of this monster suggests that you feel a heart-trending ache. Yeah, it says heart trending, which is crazy. Or heart rendering, ache. And longing for connection, for a sense of home, comfort. Yes, you're longing for the things that feels real to you in your soul, right? The things that you resonate with. You're longing from there, but you're denying yourself those things. And I have no idea why. It says if you can't visit in person, send them a message or play music that connects you to that time, place, or person. Feel them in your heart. For some of you, you need to let go of this sadness and loneliness because this is self-inflicted, okay? You could have these things, but you won't trust that the universe has your back, that you won't fall, that the universe will keep you safe, okay? And then this is La Llorona. So it talks about grief, loss, and suffering. It says specifics may vary depending on the cultural telling of her story, but La Llorona is always associated with loss and tragedy in Mexican folklore. When a man attempts to take her child, she kills them to not suffer their loss, dooming herself to an eternity of wailing. You might be trying to avoid sadness. Or confronting your true feelings, the things that are deep within you. Distracting yourself will only delay the inevitable. Remember, what you get sad about can point you to what you love and cherish most. La Llorona's message is that you must allow yourself to love despite your fear of what would happen if you lost it. Like the saying goes, it is better to have love and loss than to never have loved at all. Risk losing something for the reward of joy. For some of you, risk losing your comfort. You don't know how to risk losing your comfort. Risk losing your comfort for something so beautiful and something so joyous, okay? Let's get a couple of cards from this deck. We have wrong decisions. It says reckless behavior can lead to bad consequences. For some of you, you're reckless. You won't even go that far. Your reckless behavior is not even trying. You're not even trying. You're making the wrong decision because you won't even try to do something different. Okay. Then we have spiritual work. It says open your heart to a spiritual career and heal the human heart. For some of you, this is that thing that you want to do. You feel called to it, but you're holding yourself back. You are not allowing yourself to be, or not even, I don't want to say be, but you're not allowing yourself to really tap into the energy of who you are and what spirit is giving you. And then we have shedding. It says reducing loss, elimination, and completing a new metamorphosis. For some of you, this is a lot of you. This is about you shedding the old and moving into something new. Look at this. What did I say? Trust that the universe has your back. Helping hand. It says need others to assist with services, increase productivity. No one can handle it all. Spirit is telling you we got your back. And look at this. Look at this. Success. Choosing the right direction and actively overcoming difficulties. You are on a path to success. You are on a path that will lead you to exactly where you want to be. But you're so focused on like, oh, well, you know, it's not what I thought I would be doing with my life. So what? Who cares? Be a little bit more rebellious. There are going to be, no matter what you do in life, there's always going to be somebody who's going to have a problem with it, right? You could be a monk and somebody will have a problem with it. You could be the most outlandish person, right? Somebody's going to have a problem with it, right? So if no matter what you do, somebody's going to have a problem with it, why not do what you like? Why not do what makes you happy? We're going to get a couple of cards from the Kemper deck just to see if there's any additional messages. We have wealthy man. First, I don't know why, but the minute that came out, there is this, I think it might have been Sally Mayfield or Sally something Field. She had a talk show. And I believe it was on her show, and Cher was there. And I think she was talking about her mom saying something about, when are you going to marry a wealthy man? And she was like, I am the wealthy man. For some of you, this is you. You are the wealthy man that people want you to marry. You are the wealthy you are the wealthy man that people want you to marry. For others of you where that does not resonate, you're about to marry someone who has a lot of wealth. There is a message that's coming in for you around this person. So this could come in the form of a dream. This could come in the form of confirmation in a reading or something like that. Maybe you're getting some divination done. And this is going to come in that form. Okay. Let's get a couple of cards from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck just to see if there are any remaining messages. Oops. We have dog. It says protection from a powerful friend. So for some of you, that could be the wealthy person that's coming into your life. This person is going to be protecting you. They're going to look out for you. Also that trust, right? To me, that trust from a powerful friend. When spirit was telling you to trust, right? Be careful with, like, not be careful, but understand that trust is coming in to help you. And then we have pay attention to your health. This actually came out when I did the first reading, the first run through of pile number 1. So please pay attention to your health, pay attention to your career as well. To me, this health is talking about your mental health, right? This is what this feels like to me. This is more mental, strain or anguish that you are going through. So pay close attention to your health. Okay. We have mule. It says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. This could be you, right? You know, you need to change. You need to get out of this slump that you've been in, but you are refusing to do it. Then we have cup. It says you should accept valid criticism. For some of you, when you heard me say that, like you're stubborn, you probably said to yourself, I'm not stubborn. That's not me. So this can't be my reading. For that to come out, spirit is calling you out right now in real time. Then we have fair man. It says dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. Okay. So for some of you, this could be somebody that's coming into your life. This could be the wealthy man. This could be the person that you're marrying. And then we have tree. As your bottom deck energy, it says affairs with your family. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to happen with your family. Be careful. Make sure that you keep, I wasn't even going to say that. I just heard keep your guard up. So definitely for some of you, this is about you keeping your guard up. I am going to pull from the Sensual Soul Oracle cards just because you got marriage and a wealthy man. We're going to get 2 cards, see what Spirit says. Spirit, is there any additional messages for pile number 1? It says we're incompatible. There's no chemistry in this connection. You're simply too different to make this work. It's better to cut your losses now before either of you gets too attached. So for some of you, this is about you letting go of something that no longer serves your highest good. This is about you letting go of a person, being free to fall. And what do we talk about with that sadness? Sometimes you're holding on to stuff that you shouldn't be holding on to. Even the grieving, right? The grieving card that's here under La Llorona, you're tormenting yourself and you're holding on to someone who's incompatible to you when there's something beautiful coming in for you, because you got wealthy man and marriage here. Then it has dominate me. It says you are very powerful right now, and someone finds that irresistible. They want nothing more than to submit to you. Don't be afraid to use a firm hand. They like it a little rough. So for some of you, this could be an omen to your upcoming relationship. This person may like to be dominated by you. For those of you that this does not resonate, for others of you, this is about you dominating your own, and I'm hearing your own free will. But this is also, to me, this is that Lilith energy as well. Don't let someone control you. You control yourself. You control how you move forward, right? There's always a helping hand here to help you, but make sure that you're being more cautious and you're making sure that you understand that, yeah, I'm going to be a rebel if I want to, right? You know, it's, like I said, everything in moderation, but make sure that you're being careful with how you go about doing what you're doing. There are people around you that are going to see your power. They're going to want it for themselves. Don't let them dominate you. Some of them, they see it for themselves and they just want to submit to you. Let them. Okay, let them. Okay, so pile number 1, this is all of the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me all the way to the end, and I'll see you next time in our next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Ancient Power Mysteries, hear the rattle of Isis playing, then this is your pile. So the first thing I'm getting is, 1, someone's music career could be taking off. That's what this 7/7 portal is bringing in for you. Something about you wanting to tap more into music. You also may be someone who is looking, you may also be someone who is looking into do more like, I don't want to call it like spiritual music, but music with no words, where you use like sound bowls and stuff like that. If that's something that you're interested in, that's coming through heavily. It came through before I even turned on a camera, so I want to put that out there. For others of you, Spirit is saying that there is a power in your voice, and during this 7/7 portal, you may find that people are more willing to listen to you. Your throat chakra may be extremely activated. You may find yourself really standing more in your power. You may find that your dreams pull you into an ancient power. You may find that your dreams deal a lot with, you know, Egyptian themes or mummy themes or ancient themes as well. You may find that, you know, your path is guided by something higher than yourself, right? And not just because I think all of our paths are guided by something higher than ourselves, but you may actually feel it in real time. Okay, so I'm going to read this one from the book. I think it's a long one. Let's see. Yeah, not reading all of it, but I will read some of it from the book until I feel like, you know, feel guided to stop. So it says, when the Lady Isis initiates a beloved into her ancient mysteries, life can become quite interesting. An initiate of Isis does not just learn new ideas as a student, but is thrown into the experience of the mysteries in real day-to-day living, so that they may be truly mastered in our lives and then instilled in service to help the lives of others too, so that one day all beings will be healed and whole according to the whole of the will. Sorry, I'm gonna read that again. It says, oh, that is a long sentence. It says, an initiate of Isis does not just learn new ideas as a student, but is thrown into the experience of mysteries in real day-to-day living, so that they may be truly mastered in our lives, and then instilled in service to help the lives of others too, so that one day all beings will be healed and whole according to the will of the divine feminine. The rattle of ices initiates us into the mysteries of sound healing. Yeah, what did I say? That sound bowling, it came out automatically for me. Sound healing and creation through vibration. If we listen carefully with our inner ear, we can hear the sounds of the universe alive. We can sense and hear with our inner ear the movement of planets, the beating of the heart of Mother Earth, and the music of the goddess guiding us through sound, helping our souls to dance and move and our lives to heal. It says, you are guided to use, that was quick. You are guided to use words that reflect the experience you would like to create in your life. It may involve shifting how you speak. For example, rather than focusing on struggle or what is not working, focusing on the signs of life and healing that you experience, okay? This may also include using chant, incantation, and prayer. It may also involve singing or playing a musical instrument, or using sound for healing through the voice of another instrument, such as crystal bowls, wow, rattles, keyboards, or strings or wood instruments, and letting the sound move you. You may use this healing for yourself, but if you are a healer, this oracle can guide you to explore this in your healing with others. Yeah, and it's crazy how this is not just talking about you doing healing within yourself. This is also you healing others, right? So this is, if you've been thinking about starting something like a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel where you do sound bowl healing, or you do some type of musical singing, or whatever the case may be, that is more sacred. You're trying to tap into something that is specific to tapping into one's energy or grounding oneself. This oracle is definitely guiding you to do that. It says, this oracle guides you to honor the power of your voice. Wow, whether through spoken or sung words, and in what you write, speak about, or stand for symbolically. Also, some of you, your music career is definitely about to take off, or something where you speak or something like that. Your voice is going to be very powerful. It says you have a potentially very powerful healing. I didn't even realize it said that. You have a potentially very powerful healing voice, and you are guided to recognize the responsibility that you have for what you proclaim through your voice. It is acknowledgement of freedom, respect, and love for others. Do you use your power for speech with wisdom and kindness? In order to help you master the ancient mysteries of the Sistrium, use the beautiful voice with spiritual responsibility and wisdom. You also need to acknowledge where you have used your power to manipulate others to get your own way, or failed to be respectful. Forgive yourself out loud and ask for forgiveness in person or spiritually if doing so in person is not possible or appropriate. So I want to say this. Your voice is something about the 7/7 portal is really going to open up your voice. You may find yourself being a little bit more emotional, but be careful with how you speak to others. Your voice has a power beyond your years. It has power beyond what you yourself are aware of. Something about music is going to be very heavy for pile number 2. If you are not somebody who's into music, if this does not resonate with you at all, if you do not heal yourself through music, or listen to music to zone out, whatever the case may be, this is probably not your pile. This is a very specific message of what's coming through the 7/7 portal. So if music is not your thing, or you've never thought about sound bowl healing, or you've never thought about using your words to help others, or even if, I would also say that this could be around speech, this could be around public speaking, because something about your voice has power. Something about the frequency of your voice has so much power. So you have to be very careful with what words you use and how you talk to people. Okay, let's get you some cards from the, okay, that was quick. We have trunk, stability, loyalty, reliability. Yep, not surprised. Okay, we have earth, peace, grounding. Yep. And then we have hearth. It says safety, comfort, spiritual connection. Yes, your voice has a spiritual connection to the divine. There is a spiritual connection in your voice to the divine. And this 7/7 portal, I promise you may find yourself in the energy of the 7/7 portal, and you notice that people, I hate to say it, but bend to your will. Because your voice is so powerful. And then we have pine tree, vitality, longevity, perseverance. And then your bottom deck energy is so planning, setting intentions, optimism. So the first thing I want to say is make sure that when you're speaking, speak with intention. Okay? Speak responsibly, but speak with intention. Okay? Because your voice, the whatever it is that you're putting out into the universe, this energy of healing, this energy of guidance, this energy of your voice, you're putting this out into the universe and it's meant to be there, right? There's a lot of stability. You may even be wondering if you can make a life from this. And for your first card to be trunk, stability, loyalty, reliability, Spirit is saying you can absolutely make money from this. If this is something that you want to do, you want to do this full time, you want to make sure that this is the thing that you do, and you want to not worry about bills, and you don't want to worry about responsibilities and things like that. The universe is saying that you can make an absolute career out of this. Is this something you want to do? I would also say, with the power that is being given to you, make sure that you are grounding your energy. This singing or this music or whatever it is that you're using to ground others, like, it starts with you first, right? So make sure that you're grounding your own energy. But when you are doing this, be very intentional about what you are doing. Be very intentional about the energy that you are giving off in the universe, because you want to be cautious. You want to be careful, because this can be, I don't want to say deadly, but this can be something that you're not used to. So be very careful. Hearth, this spiritual connection that's here, there may be something about fire that may be significant for you, because that hearth and the flame being at the end is making me think of something that's significant. Be careful, and even for it to talk about safety, be careful what you use your voice for. Your voice could be used for comfort, but it could also be used for destruction. Okay, you have connection to the spirit. People can feel the connection of spirit through your voice. They can feel the connection of spirit through what you say, how you sing, the music that you use. It's almost like, think of it like you being the middleman, okay? But when the door is open, it's a direct connection, right? They're able to reach spirit through you. So be very careful how you use your voice. This has the ability to be something that is, has longevity to it. You'll be doing it for a long time. So please be careful. I can't say it enough. Be careful how you use your voice. Be careful how you use your voice, okay? Let's get some of these goddess cards, okay? I think this is Kitsunu, the trickster. Okay, I'm already getting a message around that card, but we're gonna keep shuffling. Ooh, we're gonna keep shuffling. Can we get 2 more cards, please? Okay, we have Baba Meek, the imposter. Ooh, okay. And one final card, please, along with the bottom deck energy. Please. Okay, we have Medusa, the outcast. And then the bottom deck energy, I'm not even going to try to say that, but it is the warning, okay? The monster is depicted by the warning. So all of your cards are monster cards, okay? Some people may make you feel crazy for wanting to do this. They may make you feel like you losing it because of what you want to do. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm getting before I read from the book. Okay, so the first thing I got is with this trickster card, there are gonna be a lot of people around you who try to trick you into doing some things. So when I tell you that people can truly feel the power of your voice, they can feel the power of your voice. They know what they're looking at, right? I think it's a verse in the Bible, when the children of God came to present themselves, the devil came also, right? And there's always a depiction of Satan or the devil where he knows the Bible just as well as any Christian, right? I'm not a Christian, but just putting that out there, giving you an example, right? The trickster will know what they're listening at, right? Because think of it this way. If you are the type of person, right, if you are a con artist, right, you more than likely can spot a con a mile away, right? Because what you're essentially doing is manipulating or taking advantage of the darkness in someone else's heart, okay? So you can see it a mile away. Anybody who's listening to you, who's listening to your voice, who's listening to you speak, who's listening to you sing, your music, whatever it is, they know what they're hearing. And a lot of times they'll try to trick you into doing something so they can take you out of your divinity, so they can take you out of what you're doing, right? So that they can put themselves in your place. Imposter, right? You may find that there are a lot of people who try to imitate you. There are a lot of people who try to take what you've done, take what you do and try to do it somewhere else, and let them. Seriously, let them. If that's something that they want to do, let them do it. Because think about it this way. Spirit has your back, right? Especially when you're going to do something like this, you should be being intentional, right? And part of being intentional is doing some type of protection work over yourself, right? Or at least that's how I consider being intentional. Doing some type of protection work over yourself, making sure that, you know, that people who are receiving this information from you or this, you know, connection to spirit from you, that you are protecting yourself, that no one gets harm in the quote unquote making of what you do, right? But there will be imposters. There always are. There's always somebody who wants to do what you do. There's always somebody who wants to have what you have, right? Let them. That doesn't have anything to do with you, because it's often, what is the saying that they say is often, you're never the original, is often just duplicated. A lot of people they don't know the original. And here's the thing, if the original comes, if someone else comes on your page, let's say you do something online and someone else comes on your page and they see or feel or hear, they're going to know this is the original, right? What I've been listening to, even if they've been listening to the other stuff, what I've been listening to is a poor imitation of what this is. So let them do what they're going to do. Okay. And then for some of you, you may play a guitar. I don't know why this card is making me think of like a guitar or I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's bagpipe. I don't want to say it wrong. But it's some type of guitar or musical instrument that has strings. I think it's from Korea. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Then we have Medusa, the outcast. Okay. Now, people may make you feel like you are crazy for wanting to do this. You are crazy for wanting to do something that maybe you're doing something that no one has ever done. Maybe it's you putting yourself out there. Maybe it is you have another endeavor going and then you feel called to do this and you start doing. People may make you feel like that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And I'm very partial, should I say, to the story of Medusa, right? And I think, a lot of this is misunderstanding. A lot of Medusa's story is about misunderstanding and others taking advantage of her willingness to come forward. So be careful of people who try to take advantage of you. The fact that Medusa part is calling out to me more of not just being an outcast, but people trying to take advantage of you, people trying to turn you into something that you're not, because they're afraid, or they covet your beauty, or they covet what you have. Be very careful of people like that, okay? And then here you got the bottom deck energy, which is the warning. I think that's self-explanatory, right? Which is what I'm kind of been saying throughout this reading, is to be careful, right? There is a warning, and I just heard on your life, so keep that in mind. But there is a warning around what you're doing. There is a warning around what you've been called to do. And you need to be careful. There's always going to be lurkers. There are always going to be people there that are going to creep in, and they're going to want what you have. They're going to want to take what you have, right? And be careful, because you could be in the honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. For some of you, this honeymoon phase is about you tapping fully into your gift. Sometimes when we're in the honeymoon phase, we forget to protect ourselves. Do not forget to protect yourself, because there are narcissists around you. There are narcissists who want to take what you have. They want to take and use this energy for something else. Protect yourself, protect your energy, protect yourself, protect your energy. I can't say it any other way than that. Protect yourself and protect your energy, because Look at this, manifesting. You're manifesting something beautiful. Look at this, vacation. For some of you, be careful with your own partner, someone that you consider a lover or a husband or a wife or whatever the case may be. Some of them may not have your best interests at heart. For some of you, you could be taking your relationship a little bit further. For others of you, you need to be careful of the person you decided to spend your life with or the person you decide to grow a home or family with, okay? Let's get some information from the Tea Leaf Oracle deck. We have Torch. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Yes, this is strictly spiritual, right? This thing that you're going to be doing, this is spiritual. It is developing. You are growing. There's more enlightenment for you here, but you got to start somewhere. The torch is being lit. Right? And you may start seeing torches in movies or something like that. It could be a sign. And then you have happiness. Spirit is saying there's so much happiness for you coming with you using your voice, because it is something that you want to do. It may be like a secret that you haven't told anybody, or for some of you, this could be a secret that you have already shared, but it's something you want to do. And then you have teardrops. It says great personal sorrow. So for some of you, you finding out something about your lover or someone you're in a relationship with may bring you a lot of sorrow, because you're going to have to walk away from this person. And I am so sorry to tell you this, but this person is a narcissist and they do not have your best interest at heart. If you know that this does not resonate, if you have I don't know, the greatest husband, greatest wife in the world, you wouldn't trade them for anything, there's been no indications of anything, then this is not for you. That's not what we're talking about. You already know some of this, you already know, which is why this is tearful, which is why this is sorrowful, because you don't know how this is going to turn out, right? Then we have Apple. It says temptation will test you. For some reason, I feel like this person is going to try and dangle something in your face to keep you hanging on. Do not let temptation keep you there. You may also start to see apples as a sign when this person is trying some stuff with you. Then we have funnel. It says period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. You listen. Some lessons you don't have to learn the hard way. And if you get the chance not to learn them the hard way, I would advise you not to learn them the hard way. Because a lot of times, oftentimes, we put ourselves in situations that we don't have to be in, because we don't learn the lesson. We get a warning from Spirit. We get a warning from God or whoever it is, and we don't take heed. Okay, this is about you taking heed. Okay, then we have great worry over nothing. Spirit is saying you're worried over nothing. There may be something in your life that you're worried about, some situation that you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, and you're worried. Spirit say you're worried for nothing. Okay, we're gonna get one last card. Any additional messages that Spirit might want to give us right now? You're definitely protected, pile number 2. You are protected. And then we have, wow. And there's 2 cards. So I'm going to put them both out here. We have Fire, Guardian, Ignite Your Passion. So this thing is your passion. And then we have Night, be brave and honest. So be honest with yourself. Be brave. Be bold when you're moving into this new phase of your life. When you are being truly called by Spirit, be bold and be brave, because this is where you're meant to be. Okay, pile number 2. So this is all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out with me all the way to the end. And I will see you next time in your next one. Bye.